Hi everybody, my name is Angela Cleary. I'm a life coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. So today I want to talk about how I've been blocking my own destiny, specifically how I've been blocking love from entering my life. But I have career blocks, money blocks and love blocks. And today I had a breakthrough realising that they were all actually connected. They were all due to the same trauma, the same lack of self-worth and the same self-limiting beliefs. Now, I did a breathwork session last night, which was absolutely amazing. I've been doing them for a while, but this one was mind-blowing. I went through a full Kundalini experience. It was unreal. My whole body was vibrating and shaking. That was Kundalini energy going through. And these breathwork sessions lead to massive breakthroughs. And I knew after that session, towards the end of that session, I was basked in the violet flame. And I was after pulling cards, oracle cards previously yesterday, and from two different decks, I got an oracle card about the violet flame and Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel, and I could feel them during this breathwork session last night, and I just knew that something would release for me. And going into this breathwork session, we set intentions, and my intention was to allow love into my life. Because lately I've started to realise that I've been getting in my own way with love, with all my blocks, career, love, money. But I can't heal something unless I understand where it comes from. And when I started to understand I was getting in my own way, that was the start of my breakthrough or my epiphany. But today, after pulling some more oracle cards, it just all made sense for me. And that's what I want to try and explain to you today, and how we get in our own way and how we block ourselves due to our past traumas, generational curses. So, like, for last few weeks, I've started to realize I'm the only one getting in my own way when it comes to love. I kept feeling like normally I've healed so much around rejection and abandonment that I understand that any form of rejection is divine protection, or it's a lesson to learn and heal parts of myself. But lately I've been feeling lonely, and I've been feeling, I suppose, a bit victim mentality, wondering why I wasn't somebody's first choice, why I wasn't being chosen, why I wasn't worthy of being chosen. And that's what it was leading to. It was me asking myself, saying to myself, am I not worth being loved? Am I not good enough to be loved? Am I not worthy of this? And that's when I started to realize, how can I expect somebody to choose me if I don't choose myself? And I realized that I have to start trusting myself more, start loving myself more, and start choosing me and putting myself as the first choice in order for anyone else to choose me. And like I've spoke about this before, we shouldn't need for somebody else to choose us. We should love ourselves enough where that we don't have to be validated by somebody's external validation. We need to validate ourselves. We need to love ourselves, and we need to choose ourselves, so that we're not pining or feeling lonely or craving or needing external validation. So I was trying to understand this part of myself. I was like, feeling so sorry for myself, why I wasn't being chosen. And I was like, Angela, you need to choose yourself. How do you expect anything to happen for you if you don't love, validate and choose yourself? And I understood this, but I didn't sit with it. And normally when I understand something, I need to sit with it and ask myself where it comes from. Where is this core wound? Why do I not choose myself? Why do I not feel worthy? And I never connected the dots until today. And I've been doing a lot of healing around money blocks, because I grew up with our family had very little money, and say my dad's family before that had very little money, and I was just struggle living week to week, and it was how I perceived life to be, living in a lack mentality. And today the epiphany I got was that's the exact same as my love block, because I realized I felt guilt. I felt guilt for wanting money before. And now I realize today I feel guilt for wanting love. Why is this? Because love, money and abundance was an alien concept for me growing up. And now I think this is not just this lifetime, but in my previous lifetimes as well. So because love and money were such alien concepts, and because there was always this need to, you have to work hard, you have to struggle, you have to, you know, almost kill yourself to earn. And if people with more money, I don't know, it was wrong to have money, it was wrong to want money, it was wrong to be rich, it was, I don't know, whatever self-limiting beliefs were inside me made me feel guilt around wanting a higher wage or an abundant life or a luxurious life. And it's not about material things, it's about living comfortably, it's about feeling deserving of having nice things or having a nice life. Instead of working so hard to maybe get a holiday once a year, you should be working your life purpose so that you feel fulfilled in your job. So like, it's not just about money, it's fulfillment. But because I had such guilt around money, that's where my money blocks came from. But realizing today, my money and my love blocks were the same, because I never saw love growing up. Now, I'm not saying I was treated wrong or anything. I did get love, but not the love that I deserve, if you get me. My concept of love growing up was very unhealthy. What I saw was very unhealthy. There was a lot of anger, violence, and toxicity in what I saw as love. So therefore, I've realized today that I felt guilty for wanting love, because I felt unworthy of it, because no one, say my family or generations before that, didn't have the love that they deserved. They didn't have what love should really be about. So therefore, unconsciously, I felt that it was wrong to want love, or wrong to want more for myself. And that's what I'm saying, the money and the love is connected. I felt an inner guilt from generational trauma, not just this life. I felt this inner guilt for wanting more. I felt unworthy of wanting more, because I suppose I felt guilty for my ancestors, felt guilty for my parents or my grandparents or the people before that, because they didn't get a life of abundance or a life of true love. So therefore, there was some deep part of me that felt guilty for wanting it. And realizing that today is like, oh my God, now I can fucking heal this shit. Like, do you know, I can actually choose myself. I know for the last few weeks that I've been getting my own way. I know that I have to choose myself, and I have to love myself and feel worthy in myself before even expecting somebody else to choose me. Do you know what I mean? And like, the fact that I understand today that my money blocks are so similar to my love blocks, because they were both such alien concepts for me. And as I said, because of generational conditioning, I actually felt guilty for wanting it on an unconscious level. And like, I suppose we blame external things as well for not getting something. We're like, why didn't this person choose me? Or why does this person have this and I don't have it? Or, and we keep blaming external things for something within ourselves. And I'm not saying punish ourselves or anything and, blame ourselves for anything, but we need to ask ourselves what the core reason is for us blocking our abundance, blocking our destiny, blocking our worth, what we deserve, and like, I know deep down that I deserve love. I know that I am a good person, and I know that I deserve a life of abundance and a life of love and a life of fulfillment. But my core wounds, my unconscious self, my inner child feels guilty for wanting more, because, as I said, generations before me, my ancestors didn't get what I am seeking, or what I want, like. And that's what I realized during the breathwork session last night, is my destiny is to love myself and to show people how to love themselves, and to bring in that love that we've been missing for generations. As I've said in other videos, we settle, we marry to do with society's standards. We don't choose the fairy tale anymore because we don't choose ourselves. And that's it. Like, we don't choose ourselves. And that is the problem. We're blocking our true destiny because we don't feel worthy of something better. We don't feel worthy of a life of fulfillment because we feel guilty that our parents didn't have that, or that our grandparents didn't have that. But this is the whole point of breaking generational curses and breaking generational trauma, is that we are the way changers. We're the ones to break those curses, break those traumas, and show that there is a new way, that we can have more, that we can have abundance, that we can have love, and that we can have money, and we can have luxury. And as I keep reiterating that it's not about material possessions, having material things, having, expensive things. That's not what I mean. It's not about that. It's not about the status. It's not about, what you have in here is what's important. But not struggling, not killing yourself to try and make ends meet, not being stressed about money is what I mean. Living a life of peace is what I mean. This is why we're here. We're here to change those traumas, change those curses from generations, and show the world that we can have abundance, and show the world that we can have love. And we need to start that by breaking our generational blocks, breaking our self-limiting beliefs, and as I said, choosing ourselves. And that's the problem I've had. How do I expect anything in my external world to happen if I keep standing in my own way? If I keep telling myself that I'm not good enough, if I keep telling myself that I'm not worthy, if I keep basing my self-love on somebody else's choice or lack of choice. I shouldn't feel shitty or feel rejected or upset because somebody didn't choose me. The only person I should care about choosing me is myself. And I need to start by loving myself, by trusting myself, and by choosing myself and believing that I am good enough and I am deserving of this life, of abundance, of peace, of love. And when I connected the dots today, my mind was so blown. I was like, it's the exact same thing. My money blocks and my love blocks come from the same core wound. The core wound that I feel guilty for wanting more. And that's the thing, because when I got the oracle card today and it said, I have to forgive myself and I have to stop feeling guilty for something. And I was trying to figure out what do I feel guilty for? And then I realized, oh my God, I feel guilty for wanting love. I feel guilty for thinking I deserve love because of my past lives, my childhood trauma. I actually feel guilty for wanting more, or feel guilty for, believing I'm worthy of love. And that's a fucked up concept in a sense, but that's why, and that's how we get in our own ways. That's how we block ourselves. It's because we feel bad for wanting something different to what our parents did. And we look back and maybe our parents didn't have the true love that they deserved, or our grandparents may not have had that, or so on and so on. And we feel guilty for wanting something better. We feel guilty that our lives can go more smoothly than our parents did or than our grandparents did. We feel guilty for having it a little bit easier, and it's not easier. I've had so much trauma. I've worked very, very hard to get to where I am now. I shouldn't feel guilty for wanting more. I deserve more, and I know that deep down. But there's a core wound that makes me feel guilty for wanting a life of abundance, for wanting a life of fulfillment, for wanting a life filled with true love instead of societal settling or, unhappy love, or what I've perceived to be love. I grew up and I never saw true love. I never did. Not really, And I saw violence, and I pain, and I saw anger, and I saw aggression, and I saw toxicity. So I never saw a good model of love. So therefore, reaching for that myself is so scary. And that's another thing. It's the unknown. we stay in this bubble of pain and torture and hate and toxicity because we don't know any different. We block ourselves from that happy life, whether it be in our career, in love or money, whatever. We block ourselves from it because we are afraid of it. We're afraid of the unknown. I've known nothing but my past. And even though it's not comfortable, it's called a comfort zone, but it's not comfortable, I'm afraid to jump into the new life as well, which is blocking me as well, because I don't know what it looks like. And that was another card I got today, was uncharted waters. There's no map. There's no fucking map. Like, the only map I've ever known is that toxic map. But at least there's a direction in it. And you kind of follow that route because you know it and it's all right. Like, sure, we're used to that. But because there's no map for this unknown territory, it scares the bloody shit out of us. And that blocks us as well. It's like, even though this is painful, living in this world of darkness or this toxicity or this lack of love or this lack of money or lack of abundance, it's very scary out there because we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what's in front of us. And that's the thing, like, we're afraid to take that next step because it's just so alien to us. It's so out of our comfort zone. But like, our comfort zone isn't comfortable, but that place, that life of fulfillment, that life of colour is actually fucking scary because we don't know any different. So that's another block we have, and it's the fear of taking a risk. It's a fear of getting hurt because all we've ever known is pain. All we've ever known is hurt. It's a fear of being vulnerable. It's a fear of opening our heart to abundance, love, everything, because it's a fear of that pain that we've experienced in this life and in previous lifetimes. It's a fear of the pain repeating itself. But like, in saying that, when we block our hearts off, when we're living in this old life, it is painful. When we don't choose ourselves, when we block ourselves from a life of new, a life of different, a life of fulfillment, that's painful. Having these walls around my heart is more painful than being vulnerable and from wanting more, because the more I open my heart, the more I feel love for everything in my life, and the more I feel love for myself. And that feels less painful than the past, but it scares us so much to be vulnerable, to open our hearts again, because we are afraid of being hurt. We're afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of not being chosen. But if we choose to choose ourselves, then we can't get hurt. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is that we're so strong by choosing ourselves that we don't need that external validation. We don't need to be chosen by someone else when we choose ourselves. And when we choose ourselves, when we love ourselves, everything in our life gets easier. It gets smoother. And it gets more fulfilling. So we actually become stronger when we become vulnerable. We actually get stronger when we open our hearts because we have this love protecting us. And that's what love does. Love protects us. So being afraid of love, hiding from love, closing our hearts away from love is actually not protecting us. It's making us more I don't know what way to put it. It makes us more open to hurt when we're closed off. I know that sounds weird. I'm literally learning as I go here because like I'm getting epiphanies as I speak. Like it's just like I'm getting realizations as I'm going, and it's mind blowing. Like that breathwork session yesterday really has opened up a lot for me, and these epiphanies are coming as I'm speaking, and it's just I love it. But yeah, we need to open ourselves to be more protected, because the more we open, the more we are protected by divine love, our own love, but our angel team and our spirit team. The more we open, the more we are protected. That's a lovely way of putting it, actually. That's really nice. I can actually feel my heart bursting open here. It's just crazy. Oh my God. Like, if you've never done breathwork before, you have to try. Like, I've tried Kundalini yoga, and I've read about Kundalini and the energy that comes up through your body, and your body. I've heard about people's experiences where they completely vibrate. It's like having a seizure. And I've done mild breathwork sessions and I've done Kundalini sessions before, and I've had the vibration in my hands and my legs, and but it's like a buzzing. But last night, I literally, my whole body shook, and I remember lying there, and like I could feel when it started, when the energy started rising, I could feel pain in my legs. My legs were actually in pain, but when they started moving and vibrating, the pain subsided, and it was crazy because I was laying there, I was like, Jesus Christ, I better not break anything or hurt myself because I live alone, like, so Jesus, and I remember for the third round of sessions, I had to take the laptop off the bed because I was like, I'll end up knocking the laptop off the bed because of the way I was vibrating. So I just knew through this session last night that I was like, there was something big going to happen for me. So to get the breakthroughs today, and to get the breakthroughs even as I'm going through this video, it's just mind blowing. So try breathwork. It's if you don't know anything about Kundalini, do it easy and do it as you go, because I've had Kundalini experiences before, but they were so mild. And because I've done research on it, I knew what to expect last night when I went through that massive experience. But if I hadn't known what was about to happen before it happened, it would have been really, really scary or, scary. But you're in control the whole time, But look into it. It's amazing. If you want to learn more about yourself or learn more about your destiny or your future, breathwork or Kundalini yoga is really, really good for this kind of thing. But I've done this somatic breathwork before, and it was so mild. And yes, I've had, breakthroughs, but they were very, very, very miniature. And I knew going through the experience I went through last night, I was like, something's gonna happen for me now. And I knew I'd get a breakthrough. But to have these little breakthroughs as I'm going through this video is mind blowing as well. But anyway, back on topic, sorry. The whole concept is to choose ourselves and to get out of our own way and to stop, to understand where they come from. And as I've said before, I can't heal myself until I know what the core wound is. And it's only in the last couple of weeks that I've realised I've been in my own way and that I've been lacking self-trust and lacking self-worth and lacking self-belief. And this is disconnecting me from divine a little bit, because if you don't believe in yourself, how are you supposed to believe in the higher power? Because you are the higher power. So lately, as I said, I've been learning to get out of my own way, but I was like, I have to choose myself. I can't expect somebody else to choose me if I don't choose myself. But I didn't sit with that, and I didn't ask myself why I wasn't choosing myself. And realising today that my lack of choosing myself was to do with my lack of feeling worthy, or my guilt around love. My guilt around wanting love, my guilt around wanting money. And it's the same thing. Money, career, love, it's all the same thing. It's all to do with your self-worth. It's all to do with your abandonment, your rejection wound, your lack of self-worth. It comes from that, your inner child. So you have to kind of understand the core aspect. And now that I can connect, like I was able to, I'm healing my money blocks, and which has been transformational for me. But now that I actually finally figured out that my core love wound is my money block wound, it's the same thing, because I never experienced it as a child. It was an alien concept, but I actually felt guilt for wanting it. I didn't even know that till today. I actually felt guilt for wanting love. And that was a block for me. And the fear of the unknown, these are all blocks. I was in my own way by not choosing myself. But why wasn't I choosing myself? Because of my lack of worthiness, because of this guilt, because of this feeling of undeservingness. And now that I've woken up to that, and like I've been able to heal my money blocks because of figuring out why they were there. Now that I understand that my love blocks are similar to my money blocks and why they're there, where they came from, I can start to heal this, and I can open myself up to loving myself more, and choosing myself. And once I do this, I know everything is just going to flow. My heart is bursting open as I go through this video, understanding that vulnerability is strength. Opening our hearts gives us more protection. It protects us to be open. Love is a protection. Being afraid of love and being around, caging ourselves away from it, is actually not protecting us. It's leaving us susceptible to attack. It's making us more susceptible. I can't. More open to hurt. we're opening ourselves more to be hurt because we're living in a world of pain and darkness. But the more we open our hearts, the more we open to love, the more we open to that colour in the world, the more we're divinely protected. And that is a fact. That is a fact. I can feel that burst of love in my heart right now, knowing that the more I actually stop fearing opening my heart, the more I will be divinely protected. The more I believe in myself, the more I believe in divine, the more I believe in this universe and the power that I have within myself, the more I will be protected. So I have to stop being scared of the unknown, because that fear is keeping me stuck. It's keeping me in pain. It's keeping me in lack. It's keeping me in lack of self-worth. It's keeping me in that low vibrational energy. I've been so scared to open my heart. Wow. And I've realised today that the more I open my heart, the more I will be protected. Wow. My mind is absolutely blown. It really is. I'm feeling all kinds of energy right now. It's like an epiphany moment, that light bulb moment. It's like, what the fuck? The more I actually open myself, the more I become less fearful of the unknown, and less fearful of love. When I choose myself and open my heart, the more I will be divinely protected. So we have to stop being scared, and we have to stop getting in our own way, and we have to stop being afraid to take those risks, and open our hearts, choose ourselves, and stop blocking our own destiny. Because once we heal those core wounds, and once we realise where those wounds come from, we can invite so much more into our lives. We can invite so much more love and abundance into our lives. We really can. My heart is bursting open right now because of the breakthroughs I'm after having. And I know they're still coming. And I'm just, I'm actually excited right now for what's ahead, because I've broken down some barriers that I didn't even realise. Well, I knew they were there, I just didn't know how they got there. When we look deep within ourselves to break down these walls, we can open up so much more abundance for ourselves, and so much more love and abundance for ourselves. Oh my God, the energy I can feel. I call it, like, it's like butterflies I get in my heart and my tummy, but it's more intense, and I call it my soul dancing. And I can actually feel my soul dancing right now, because I can feel my heart bursting open. I'm actually overcoming so much mind-blowing blocks today. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Look into breath work, look into finding those core wounds within yourselves, and look into finding how to break down those walls. Open your heart, because that's what protects us. Love is a form of protection. We have to stop being scared of the unknown. We have to stop being scared of getting hurt, because love will protect us. Love makes us stronger. Vulnerability makes us stronger. We have to stop being afraid to love ourselves, but afraid of choosing better for ourselves. And we have to stop feeling guilty for past. We're changing those past. We're changing future generations. We have to stop feeling guilty for what our parents or ancestors went through. We're here to break that cycle, so that our future generations can live in love and not in fear. So once we overcome our own blocks, stop blocking our own destiny, we open up so much more for the future of humanity. So by changing ourselves, we can change the world. So yeah, this is a bit mind-blowing for me anyway, but choose yourself, figure out your core wounds, figure out what you need to heal, so you can open your heart to love, because it's beautiful. When I can feel my heart bursting open, it's the most beautiful experience ever. And I want that for all of you. So if you need help on your journey, or figuring out your core blocks or your core wounds, or you need help with your breakthroughs, please ring me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your journey. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.